What is going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry if you are a subscriber and it's been a minute, but I've been having camera issues and stuff like that. So let's just jump right into it. Check out the RX8 that I picked up, which is going to get an EcoBoost swap. This thing has to get a new engine. It's chucking oil out the dipstick, so it's getting a new block and some performance heads from P2R. And I'm got a customer's car in here right now that I'm smoking out, looking for a boost leak. This far, I'm only getting it to come out of the intake here, but I keep smoking it and see if I can get it to come up somewhere else. I do personally think it probably has a blown head gasket. Well, let's cross our fingers on that. And yeah. Anyways, the Wagon is up and running. I'll put in a clip of that. I got a lift for the shop. Here is the lift. Let's go ahead and run this thing up real quick and check it out. So when picking up this EcoBoost or this RX8, I already had the EcoBoost in mind. However, I figured, okay, well, I'll test this engine and see, even though it's half part compression tested, it literally has zero compression on the front rotor. So it's done for. But that's okay. For the lift, I needed a lift that I could move around my somewhat smaller shop. And with that being said, this lift also has an open center, so I can still get to transmissions and all that fun stuff. So this was the perfect lift. You guys don't want to know how much I sold this lift for. It is almost ridiculous, the deal I got on it. It's an Atlas 7,000 pound lift, and does get a little funky to operate sometimes. I still don't have it bolted down, and that's actually how solid this thing is. But to bolt it down, or to let it down, I have to steal the air from this. To let it down, it does require air, but that's okay because we got air. So anyways, yeah, this thing is going to get an EcoBoost, which is going to allow me to down my EP3, and then I can go ahead and do the K24 swap. Let me get this hooked up. There you go. Just like that. The air lifts those locks out, and then it comes down. Easy enough. I just put the air back on the smoke machine. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to have the Wagon up and going and moving. Some other things. Oh, we got air coming back the other way now. Level this out. There she is. This is, like I said, customer's car. But yeah, I'm excited to have the Wagon. I'm gonna start working on the RX8. I have to go to the junkyard and pull an EcoBoost, but the cool thing is I have, please don't mind my junk, I have one there that I can test fit and mock up stuff with. I have back into the Wagon and then start putting on some interior panels. Yeah, anywho, moving on some of the other projects, the Civic, the RX8, the Pinto, the Starion is back. Don't ask me how. The S2000, I fixed the oil pan issue, and it no longer leaks, so that's good to go. Let's take a peek out there. There's the Wagon DS2000. This is the customer's truck that I'm putting another 351 into. Pinto's over there under the cover. Sorry for the such a long wait between the videos. Let me do some explaining. I'm tired of GoPros shutting off on me while I'm recording. And I was going to record with my phone, but my old iPhone was messed up. So now that I have the new iPhone, the longer battery, and I can actually record with this thing, and it has decent quality. So that's where I'm at with this. The shop is a mess because I had to move stuff around to get the lift in the back. But really, outside of that, I'm going to dive back into making videos, and I appreciate you guys for subscribing. This thing is going to be super cool. There is a trans adapter right here for the RX8, and so originally I considered a K24, and the reason I decided against it is because the EcoBoost puts out just as much horsepower, but is capable of much more horsepower for very little money. Not only that, the size, the weight, they probably equal out once you factor in the turbo stuff. But for the K24, you have to cut a lot of this firewall out, as well as the subframe. I just don't want to do all of that. So I measured the EcoBoost. The EcoBoost is the same size as the Renesis. It's actually a little bit narrower, so there'll be more room on the sides. But yeah, that's decided for the RX8. And this thing is super clean. My wife loves white cars. Pretty great interior. So that's where we stand on the RX8. Let's see if this thing is producing smoke from anywhere else. So far, just the intake. I did have my flashlight out here looking. I'm not seeing anything. And trust me, there's lots of smoke. I just got this new smoker because my old one was no good, but just to kind of show you how much smoke there actually is. So, with that being said, I can almost guarantee that it's some other issue, unless it's an under pressure vacuum leak, which is a possibility, and we can check that as well. We will go like this, and I have a boost leak tester, but we're not going to use that just yet. Where is my air tool? I just moved some stuff around. I have to get a different box. Like this. So we're just gonna feed this guy a little bit of air. Okay, I am getting a lot coming out of the front there. And I'm interested in seeing where that's coming from. Can't really see down there. Can't be the intake because the intake box is up there, so there definitely is a leak somewhere. And of course you can't see anything underneath these. Let's see if I can see from here. Nothing. Alright, well there you have it. Something from the bottom is leaking. that shouldn't be. Should come back up to the intake pipes, and that is it. Let's add some more air here. Sorry for the wind noise. You can see it climbing out somewhere in there. Take that guy off. It's coming up from the bottom there. That's interesting. Okay, well, good to know. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit and doing a quick update on the shop. EcoBoost RX8. We have kind of an axle solution for the Festiva, the EcoBoost Festiva. I'm going to be driving the Wagon from now on. I'm going to do a video on, I have a customer's Audi here, Audi Wagon. I'm going to do a kind of different video for the comparison of old cars versus new cars. So hold on, I got somebody calling. I'll be right back. So this is a pretty cool feature that I didn't know about the iPhone. I can talk to you guys while I show stuff. I pulled this off. It is going to be a charge pipe or intercooler leak on this guy. So the cool thing about that is that explains all of the issues with this. Now I'll just have to tear it apart, but I'm not going to do that here. This thing has been falling off every time I've come in here. And I don't know what its problem is. Anyways, there it goes. What's the upper? I think. Why can't I figure it out? Sorry for that. Anywho, like I was saying, I had a video on TikTok go viral of a video of there's a drain on the Wagon for the fuel tank, and I had to get the old bad fuel out. I was like, how cool is this? I'll post a clip of that in here. Went viral on TikTok, and people just went ham in the comments about newer vehicles are better, older vehicles are better, and of course everybody has their opinion. So I'm going to do a dedicated video on a new Wagon, the Audi, versus an old Wagon. The Audi actually isn't running great right now. It's a customer's car, but I'm going to do a video on it so that way you guys can kind of see my thoughts, why I think there's older. There's obviously pros and cons to both, but I think that new modern cars will not last the test of time like older, like my 65 Wagon, right? That thing is still in drivable condition, despite I just did an engine swap in it. But that wasn't because the old engine probably wasn't running. It was because I wanted something bigger for the meantime. Anyways, my point is there's pros and cons to everything. So older cars, newer cars. But I think the older cars will end up lasting a lot longer than the newer cars, right? And 60 years from now, that Audi is going to be crushed and long gone because it's not worth fixing. Whereas the older cars, like the 65 Wagon, has lasted this long because it's simple to fix, it's easy to fix, and the body's obviously gonna hold up. So anyways, another video coming on that. In the meantime, I appreciate you guys watching. I am sorry for how long it's taken me. I'm gonna have to get a holder for this because it's kind of shaky. I'm sorry for how long it's taken me to put out another video, but I promise, like with the lift and the new engine for this and the EcoBoost and the Wagon going, there's better things to come. So I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, let me know what you think of the updates here. And definitely like the video and subscribe if you're into seeing things like EcoBoost swapped RX8s. Here's some bonus footage. This is a twin turbo built. Tell me if you can recognize it by the gauges or the exhaust. But this is a 300ZX that is currently for sale. It has a fully rebuilt and upgraded engine. By built, I mean studs, new gaskets, that kind of stuff. It does do this, even though the brake lights work. When you hit the brakes, that warning light comes on. But this thing's pretty fun too. Super good running car for a 90s Nissan JDM, and love the seating position in this thing. Anyway.